What's up, chaps and chappets? Welcome back to another episode of the TRYHARDS Road to Glory. So we're lined up here in a 4-4-2 Serie A team, looking pretty solid, I'm not going to lie. OP players such as Perisic in the team. But we do actually switch to the 4-2-3-1 in-game. I just feel like it is the best overall formation right now in the game. Kind of switching up my tactics. I was just trying to figure out what is the best tactic for like fast attacks using the wings or like the center attacking mids on the right and left. So ended up having I think the right attacking mid and the left attacking mid, but not the center attacking mid on stay forward. And yeah, I mean the rest of it's pretty typical, although I did actually try for the first time I think man mark on my two CDMs as well. I just wanted to see what that was like as well. And other than that, everything was relatively the same as how we've had it in the past. So going into the first game of FUT Champions, you know, we are sweating it. We're starting off with a 4-4-2 as you see there, but we do actually change in game. And we also bring on Lozano for death rule. Oh my days, mate. This Lozano in form is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's honestly, he's I don't know how he's managed to get an inform at the start of a game again. Because obviously, I think back in FIFA 18, I used him basically all the time. And he's already managed to get a inform of FIFA 19, which is just, it's beautiful. He's disgusting. Like, he is just one of those sort of OP meta players that you can bring on quite happily. So, as you can see here, using the little LB and right stick little skill move there, when you just do like the little 1-2 touches. I think it was actually Iniesta's skill move or something like that. Perisic getting a goal. He's an absolute monster up top. I'm not going to lie. Like, Perisic up top. Probably, I don't even know why I'm wearing headphones, to be honest. Probably one of the best cheap players in terms of, like, a striker. Like, he starts off as a left mid, but he's got all of the physical attributes and, like, loads of attributes that make him just very suitable for a striker position, to be honest. And Gomez, just alongside, he's kind of got the balance. You've got a... I like to have a balance in terms of... especially when I'm playing 4-4-2. I'm playing 4-2-3-1 here. I like to have a balance of, like, strength and agility, like smaller players. But with a 4-2-3-1, usually I go for my center attacking mids. Sort of the smaller players, the more agile. Balde Diao is probably the weak link in the team. But Lozano and Gomez, both playing as center attacking mids, are super agile, super small, like really good on the ball. And then Perisic as that striker, just for really sort of strong, well, the stronger, taller player type thing. So he's actually got a Hunter Chem style, which just brings him to 99 pace pretty much, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't really need the strength, and here's the thing as well. I only looked at this the other day, but stamina now, apparently this is actually like written by EA. I saw this earlier, and apparently strength and like all of the physical attributes are now directly affected by stamina. So basically your strength and like speed and stuff like that is going to go down based on how tired your player is as the game lingers on type thing. So people like Perisic, who've also got great stamina with the pace, I don't really feel like you need the strength, because especially later on in the game, when you've got that pace with that much stamina, you're going to be able to harm players. And there was actually this one little bit of play that you'll see later on, where I think I'm taking on a defender, and he's just... it's literally right here. Koulibaly is usually much stronger and stuff like that. You see his stamina's just dead. Perisic, to be fair, wasn't on the best stamina either, but I think he had more stamina for that burst there. And he just breezes past him and gets the ball off him. So we get a 5-2 W there. We're not looking too bad at this point. 2 wins out of 2. And I think... Oh, yeah, literally, right? I was playing every single game on the Sunday, because I played on my other account, I think on like either the Friday or Saturday, and accidentally left all of my games till the final day, which is not a good idea, because if you've got a sick team, I feel like you can afford to do that, because you are going to be getting rage quits quite a lot. But for me, I'm having to play basically like 9 hours of FIFA straight, and when you reach the, I mean, when you reach the end of that, it's going to be rough, you know, like 9 hours straight of FIFA. It's always going to be rough. But, you know, we're starting off well. Gomez, cutting inside. I do like the body feints this year, I'm not going to lie, especially with the smaller, more agile players. And Gomez, he's kind of just like that Lionel Messi type dribbler in their team, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, a bit B-Tech version, but he seems to be doing pretty well. Werner here, getting a little turn away. James Rodriguez. Oh, my days. That was actually a decent goal, and at this point, I'm starting to get a little bit shook. You know, he's back in the game. Obviously, 2-0 up, back to 2-1, but then his defenses at sea here. Perisic just running on goal. I probably should have sweat it better. If any, like, stopped running for a bit, I was just like, dude, I'm just going to tuck this away. Quite happily too. Perisic tucking it away. In fact, that is actually a very good scenario where if you did hold down the right stick, you can control your keeper and, like, drag him out to the right or left. And if, you know, if that could be very much the high end. I haven't really been in the really, really high end in terms of, like, division rivals. I haven't really played against many really great opponents, so I haven't really seen it used that much. But you can imagine of the really top-end games that players are going to be dragging out their keepers, marking the sweat and stuff like that. And in that scenario there, you might have got a goal quite easily against, like, a better player just because they'd be marking the sweat. And then you would just tuck it away near post just like that. But I think it makes the game kind of interesting. I haven't actually bothered to try and use the keeper mechanic or whatever at all. So I might have to try and get used to that. A couple of mechanics I do need to get used to. There's a patch coming out. It's already been, I think it's already been released for PC. And they haven't really addressed a lot of the issues, but I can kind of, I don't know. I mean, I hate to say it, but I have a little bit of sympathy for them because I think the community manager was saying, like, the developers or whatever, from, like, a developer standpoint, you'd want to make sure that if you are going to change for AI defending and stuff like that and all of the problems in the game, you want to make sure you get it right. So maybe it is going to take a little bit longer. So, you know, maybe I'll give them the benefit of a doubt on that. But then to that, I would just say, like, you're releasing a half-finished game. Like, it's just to try and get the game out and get the profit margins up and all the rest of it. Whereas you see, obviously, Red Dead Redemption, games like that, they delay the game if the game isn't finished. But that's just, that just is the way that games like this work, you know. It's the same with, like, Destiny and all of these money-making machine games. At the end of the day, they have to meet their deadlines. And I think this is ultimately just a showing of that, of just, like, the fact that it's not a completed game. There's weird stuff happening all the time. In fact, this is one of them right here. Alexandro and I think that was Mbappe there. I mean, I don't even know what to say. That's like a UFC or WWE match or something. Like, they're just tumbling. Like, in fact, it was too B-Tech for that. Like, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. So, Savage giving it to your boy Gomez here. We do a lovely little drag back. As for the finesse, not the best. Dembele giving it across. Perisic cuts inside. Oh, my days. Like, that is disgusting. I've pressed LBRB to do the driven shot there. And I keep doing this to try and do the driven shot, and it does a chip shot for some reason, like, because obviously LB is to chip. It's just a stupid button sequence. Like, I don't even know why they bothered changing that. I'm not, like, let me know how you guys feel in the comments, but I'm just not a big fan of the timed shot, to be honest. I just liked the driven shot quite a lot. I didn't have any problem with the driven shot. You know, people say it's OP and stuff like that, but you had to get yourself in a good position in order to get that shot away. It took skill to get into those positions. You know, you had to break down the defense and all the rest of it. So if this game does go down to penalty shootout, he hits the post straight away. I'm like, my eyes are lighting up at this point. I do often go for this weird little technique where I just kind of, like, take a bit of a breather, back off a little bit with my player. But that time, the keeper can come up with the save. And then he shoots them, and I get the save as well. And it's like, at this point, it's like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Dembele going for the finish. He saves it. Absolutely disgusting. Everyone's forgotten how to score a goal or something. I'm awful at penalties this year. He finally does step up. Marco Reus putting it in. I cannot take penalties this year. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I can't get them to go where I want to go. Sometimes they'll go down the middle when I want to go left or right. But I don't know. It is what it is. But we get another save there. Eden Hazard going for it. This is too tense. This is too tense. And once again, we're doing our little run up. Just trying to, I don't know. I wonder if it is a bit of psychology going on there. It gives you that bit of extra time to think about, you know, what way you want to go and what way you think he's going to go and all the rest of it. But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But we get another save. And that is the game. We get the W in the end just about. My goodness me. That was too close for comfort. Like, it gets to this stage where there are difficult games. You know, there are very difficult games. And they are going to start going down to these really tight games where it's like either 1-0 games, 2-0, 2-1. You know, awkward little scores. And they're often weird goals as well. I mean, that's a little bit of a strange goal there off a post. Falls for Gomez. 11 minutes in this game. I just love going Like, one of the best feelings is when you're in a really tough game, and then the next game after that, you get a goal nice and early. And Lozano just about wrapping it up there within 20 minutes, 2-0. When you score that second goal, it's just, oh, what a feeling. But then again, we give the ball away to Lucas here. Awful defending. Szczesny coming up with a save. He gets the corner, and he heads it in. And this guy wasn't in the game either. That's the thing, is that I've had these games, like, I did end up winning that game, but especially towards the latter end of FUT Champs this weekend, I don't know, I had these games where I was very dominant, and then I kind of switched off, and attacking wise, I kept missing chances, and then players who just weren't very good at the game were getting back in the game. But in this occasion here, Lozano getting a goal, really do rate Lozano. Like, he's an absolute monster. I think it cost me like 30k, and he doesn't really need he doesn't need any chemistry style, because you just take him off a bench. He's already got like 94 pace. I did actually apply a sniper chem style, but he doesn't get like, but I think it's like 6 chemistry if you take him off a bench or something like that. So he's only gonna get so much boost anyway. But I thought I might as well give him a bit of extra dribbling and finishing, seeing as he's already pacey as you like. This guy's just getting rinsed at this point. A little bit of a lucky goal. It was meant to go back post, and he ends up rage quitting there. So we're up to 8 wins, 8-0 right now. We're doing really well with this team, and I was just feeling very confident. I'm not gonna lie, like, I really did rate the team that I was using, and pretty much the only thing that was standing against me was just purely the fact that I had to play so many games in the space of one day, and also get a video out and stuff like that as well. So it was a very busy day, and just like, I don't know, it gets to that point, unfortunately, though, where it's just, you don't have that same energy, that same drive that you do at the start. But we certainly started it very, very well. Eden Hazard gets lucky there to get that goal. 120th minute, it goes right down to the last minute of a game, and Ousmane Dembele, I just got that little bit of space with a ball roll there, just absolutely pile drive that into the top bins, and we get that 9th dub. 9 wins in a row. That's definitely the best record I've had so far. That is the best win streak at the start of FUT Champions that I've had. So at this point, I'm just looking for that 10, you know. I've got to get that 10-0. You have to get that 10-0. So Gomez gets that lovely angle, finesse shot into the top corner. And that's what, like, unfortunately, that is kind of what the game's about mostly at the moment. Instead of driven shots, getting those angles, but like closer to the goal where it takes more skill, it's now more about those finesse shots outside the box a lot of the time. But Perisic's kind of a weird goal there, like front post header, kind of caught the keeper out, I guess. But he gets a goal here with Ronaldo, catches me out with that finesse shot. Back in the game, 2-1. Perisic, though, getting a bit of space. LBA passing, as you can see. We're just trying to get that third pass in for Perisic. And I think I was just using a bit of body feints, and they're actually coming off really well, the body feints. Like I say, with these more agile players, get the ball across, and Bold ADL getting the goal there to make it 3-1. Perisic driving here. Have a little look at this. Bang. Well, that would have been so sick if that went in, the driven shot. That was a classic type of shot. So there you have it, chaps and chappers, who played 10 games, got 10 wins so far. Make sure to tune into the next episode of the TryHards Road to Glory, and I'll see you, chaps and chappers, in a bit.